What's wrong? It's like Hendrix visited us just for a minute. And the people at home didn't hear it, so they're like, I'm turning to Johnny. He's losing his mind. Michael J. Fox.
It breaks me up that I miss being Michael J. Wolf by, that much. It isn't Michael J., is it? It isn't my initial either, so one of us might have it.
There's no J?
No, the J stands for genuine, Genuine or genius. There was a Michael Fox in the Union when I moved down, so they said you have to be something else. So, I didn't like Bob Fox, so I made up the J because there was an actor named Michael J. Pollard that I liked. So I said Michael J. That sounds good.
Yeah, it works.
I didn't know it'd be like an anchor around my neck.
No, it sounds cool, man. It has a nice rhythm.
Michael J. My little kids say it. They're so cute. They go, Michael J. Fox, Michael J. Fox. It's all the same word. It's kind of cute. Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, I was.
What were you doing?
I was possessed during the monologue.
You were zoned out, is what you were.
I was out there and I said the word jerk about the.
You said jerk?
Yeah, and I
said you didn't go like this when you
No.
said That would
But they probably deserve that.
Oh, are we gonna whine and moan about the tabloids? Okay,
well, no, we won't whine and moan about them, but let's discuss it, Michael.
Let's kvetch.
Let's discuss it like intelligent young men.
Well, if we discussed it intelligently, it's really terrible because they're destroying the First Amendment and they're bad people. You tend to go...
If they're destroying an amendment, why is it so hard to punish them?
I don't know. The thing is that everybody thinks, and you do, they say something bad about you and you go, and it hurts, it's a bad thing. But you get past that real quick, you just start to go, you think about all the stuff that, Woodward and Bernstein had to go through to kind of support Watergate. Mm-hmm. They had to come up with these sources and they checked them and double-checked them or whatever. Well, we've proven that they pay a guy and they go, we're going to say you reported on that Arsenio story and here's a check and it says that on it, and they never had anything to do with it. It's a little scary in that way. And the other thing that bugs me is that they'll violate your privacy, so you build up a wall to keep him out, and then they'll take a picture of the wall and say he hates his fans. He built a wall. So they affect the news that they report, which is also a cardinal rule. Other than that, they're pretty goofy and dumb. They're just goofy, dumb people, and they should feel bad about that.
Those are better words. Maybe I'll use those words next time.
Yeah, goofy and dumb. Yeah, I like it.
Your publicist, Nancy, did something very interesting one time.
Yeah, she did a cool thing on there, man.
Can we tell?
Well, that's, it all fits under the goofy dumb thing. It's in the goofy dumb file. But I get this thing, the movie that we'll talk about later is a little bit like it too, but whenever I have a thing in my life that's goofy and dumb and it makes me mad, I find that the best thing to do is you step back from it, you take a look at it, you find something in it that makes you laugh, and then you can get through it. So when I got married, or when my wife and I got married, I didn't do it alone. There was all this stuff, these helicopters and all that crap, and all these tabloid reporters. And it was a really tiny wedding, It wasn't like it was a wedding about, $10 billion wedding with like camels and stuff. It was like 40 people in a living room. But they decided they had to do all this stuff, and they set up this command center, in this little town of Vermont to try to infiltrate the wedding, and God knows why. But they said that they were looking for a secretary to help them with their command center. So we heard this, and I said, Nancy, my press agent, I said, Nance, go down and apply. And she did, and she got it. So we heard everything that they were going to do. She'd come back and go, well, they're going to go with this, and they're going to do that. And then they'd tell her all the stuff they were going to do, and then she'd come and tell me, and we'd do something else.
There's a happy ending. What's the dumbest story the tabloids ever printed about you?
I've had a couple of driving things, that aren't good. When I was younger, I used to smoke a lot, and I used to drink a lot of beer, and I didn't finish high school. So my favorite story they ever printed, because it was true, was Michael J. Fox is a chain-smoking, beer-guzzling high school dropout with a criminal record. I said, yeah! got something right, babe. Good time. But, you know, they had weird stuff. There was a story that was really funny. The same week that Us Magazine had on the cover a bunch of actors, yourself included, that they said that we were, you know, good guys and we were the nicest guys in Hollywood. They had a story that I was a tiny terror, and they call me a tiny terror, which is, you know, why do they just say you're a jerk, you know, but a tiny terror that ruled the set of Family Ties like a tyrant and whatever. So it was kind of funny. They had me doing some weird stuff, too, like flicking cigarettes at Meredith Baxter Burney's face. I mean, I don't care how bad I am. Can you imagine me flicking cigarettes at Meredith's face? Like, how long would Meredith stay around, you know? Well, I really need the money. I'm not gonna complain about it, you know. So it's pretty weird.
You seem to find the humor in it and, you know, avoid whining. But has it ever hurt you?
Has it ever hurt me? Not really. The only, yeah, get into it. The only time that the thing that I'm very vigilant about now is just that I can step back and look at it and have a certain sense of humor about it. And, you know, when they slip up, and they will slip up, and then they will get nailed just because why not? But you try to have a sense of humor about it otherwise. But, you know, I got a 2-year-old kid, not even 2, and he doesn't even know about it. You know, he doesn't know what he was born into and stuff. So I have a hard time with people running up and sticking cameras in his face, talking about his life. And, I mean, you know, it would be a bad thing for all involved if they messed with that.
Yeah. You say one day they'll get nailed. How do you mean that?
Well, they'll slip up. They'll, you know, if they have malice, then they are liable. And it's very tough to prove malice. But, you know, one day we'll prove malice, or one day we'll prove something else. You know, but it doesn't. Bottom line is you got to forget about it. I mean, there's so many. I mean, people are dying in other parts of the world, and stuff is going on. You know, and we're all pretty lucky, no matter how much grief we take from a bunch of goofy guys, you know, in Lantana, Florida, typing up goofy lies on goofy typewriters. I mean, there's more important things going on in the world, so I try to keep that in perspective.
Okay, we'll take a commercial and come back and talk about things that aren't so goofy.
Goofy.
Tell me about the new movie.
That was a good conversation, though.
Yeah, they should hear that conversation.
Yeah, that was a good conversation.
No whining there.
He said, don't you hate it when, you know... I told him, you want to be happy, get married and have a baby. He said, yeah, I got to find the right woman. I said, yeah, find a woman who says, what's your name again, and you can believe her. He said, yeah, but I hate when they play that and they don't mean it. I said, that's right.
Yeah, because
what was your name again? Oh, like you don't know. Like you didn't see me pull up in the Ferrari. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was hanging out one night with Magic Johnson, and this girl, she said, so what do you do? And Magic was like, you know, it's like, yeah, I mean, come on. And then he said, my name is Magic Johnson. She's like, oh, and what do you do? You know, it's like, stop.
He's like, what do you think I do?
Yeah.
I'm a jockey.
You can be... He said Irvin, but he said Magic.
Yeah,
you know?
Magic.
Oh, man, anyway. You got a good wife and...
I have a great wife.
A wonderful family thing. See, you talked... There was something in your eyes when you talked about the kid, man, when you said... I can't use the words you used, but you said just have a kid and everything else you can just say.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you can use a word. Well, it's really great because it's one of the reasons I'm doing comedies now, you know, and I'm really having a good time doing comedies because I can go and, like this movie, you know, the Hard Way, it was so much fun, you know. And at the end of the day, I don't know if anyone saw Casualties of War, but at the end of the day of the Hard Way, I can go home and play with Sam, and I'm not thinking about the Vietnamese girl who was raped and murdered and shot and thrown in the thing. I'm thinking about, you know, Jimmy Woods falling over a curb or something, you know. I'm thinking about funny stuff, and it's easy because you start to design your life not around your work, but around your family and around great things, you know, and things, you know, at the end of your life, you don't want to count the people who love you, not count money, you know. You want to do things that you want to do things that make you happy, and so, you know, right now, if I can make people laugh, make myself laugh, and then go home and my son makes me laugh, it's a great life. It's good.
You mentioned Jimmy. He's coming.
Jimmy's a nut boy.
He's coming next week. Now, be careful.
He's a nut boy. No, he knows he's a nut boy. Like he's going to go, I'm not a nut boy. He's a complete nut boy. He is not of this world, but he's great. He's a brilliant actor, and he's great, and he's great in this movie, and we had so much fun.
Yeah. The movie is called?
The Hard Way.
And you should tell me a little bit about the plot.
Well, it's funny. It comes from talking about Casualties of War. When I did Casualties of War, and I do interviews with press and stuff, and they'd say, like, you know, what are you trying to prove? Why would you? And they'd ask me these questions like I was doing some ridiculous thing by wanting to do a serious film. You know, I don't know why, because, you know, they make gillions of dollars when I make these serious films. Like, you came, you people. You didn't even see the ads in the paper. You know, people went, oh, it's a dramatic film. Yes, we'll be bowling that night. But, but anyway, but I did, and I got this idea in my head, like they thought I was like this little Napoleon who was ranting or raving because I was like this little Napoleonic clown who was going, you know, nobody takes me seriously. And then I read this script that was about this little Napoleonic clown who did these movies, these action-adventure comedy movies that made all this money, and he'd do like part 1, part 2, part 3, but he really wanted to do dramatic films, and I'd say, who is this guy? I mean, this looks like somebody I know, and it was a chance to play up that thing that everybody thought was me. And you know, the best defense when somebody is about to call you a jerk is to go, I'm a jerk.
Yeah.
You know, why not? And so this is the whole movie about what a jerk I am. And
but you're nothing like this guy, though.
Oh, I don't know. There's bits of me in him. There definitely is bits of me in him, but he is a maniac. He's a nut boy.
Yeah, now there's a clip you brought. You know what's in this clip?
This might be my agent coming over to my Malibu beach mansion, and I'm trying to explain to her what this part is that I want to do. And she doesn't think it's a good idea. And then when it ends with a familiar reference. So,
okay,
roll
Sandy,
it.
roll it.
Freeze! Slow-mo! Slow-mo! Is that incredible?
Uh-huh.
Research, Ange. Look at this face. Look at those eyes. That's my character, Ange. That's my guide. That's Ray Kazanoff. That's the face of a man who's been to the edge. That's the face of a man who's tasted fear.
And vomit.
I want to go to New York tonight. Tomorrow at the latest. Call the studio. Get him to set it up. I want to spend the next 2 weeks with this guy. I want to eat, sleep, breathe John Moss. If I can taste his world, if I can walk his beat, if I can get under his skin, I will nail this part, Ange.
Nicky, I love you.
I love you too, Ange.
A reality check. You can't leave town. Your movie opens Friday.
So what?
So what? I already booked Johnny, Barbara, Bill, Arsenio. Woo, woo, woo.
I've never seen that. Yes. That's very flattering. They wouldn't show me the clip earlier, and I didn't know why.
Oh, it's funny. And then I come out of it, and I'm going, ooh, at the next part of the scene, and she goes, why won't you do them? I said, because they're all the same. All they want to talk about is the paternity suit. And she goes, suits. And I said, paternity suits. Okay. But it's, I love this movie. I'm telling you, people, I kept getting from people, when are you going to do a comedy again? When are you going to do a comedy? This is, I know, we all know I'm up here trying to sell tickets, but I swear to you, I watched this movie, and I can't stand watching myself in movies. I laughed at this. Mm-hmm. This is funny.
When does this one start?
March 8th, maybe, I think. But it's really, really funny. So it's kind of explaining to people why I did the dramatic films I did, and at the same time giving them a funny movie, because it's funny. Jimmy Woods will knock you down in this.
Yeah. Let's take a commercial. And Marla, check on the start date, because we want to make sure they know. We'll be right back with Michael J. Fox.
For the people in the back, you guys from Winnipeg? I don't want to talk about the Jets too much, but I like Winnipeg. My mother's from St. Boniface. I'm sorry about the Jets, but other than that, no.
You talked about your character being an action star. Is there a lot of action in the movie?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a thing at the, I mean, I don't want to give it away, but there's a thing at the end. There's a giant billboard of my character, and I mean giant. I don't mean just like the one on Sunset with my face on it. It's bigger than the one of you on Sunset. It says, but I'm on the way here.
Get my people on the phone.
I'm on the way here. I'm reading something. I'm in the car, I'm reading something. I look up, and just in time to see this billboard. It says, hang with the A-man. I said, I'm doing it. Give me a break. I'm on my way. But But there's this giant billboard of my head, and the climax of the movie takes place. There's a big moment for me where I'm standing on my nose. That's all I want to say.
Okay.
This is a weird movie.
Was there any chance of getting hurt in this movie?
There's always a chance of getting hurt, but it was funny because I came off of Back to the Future 2 and 3, and I did so much stuff in that when John Badham, who directed The Hard Way, asked me to, swing off this or fall off that or get run over by this, after Bob Zemeckis already, dragged me behind horses and hung me and jumped off trains, and it didn't seem that bad, but there were moments when we did some stuff. I think Jimmy Woods got hurt because there was we had this nice competitive thing happening throughout the movie, which was really good because our characters are so different that we could be competitive but not influence, not screw up each other's character. Mm-hmm. We just push each other to go further in our own directions. And there was a scene where he throws me into a popcorn machine. And this guy, man, he fires me into this popcorn machine. Whack! Hurt like hell. He goes, "How are you? Okay?" I said, "Jimmy, come on. Nothing, babe. There's nothing." Next take. Whack! Throws me into this popcorn machine. I think bits of my spine are falling down my pant leg, I'm like, I'm dying. He goes, "Yeah, you all right?" I said, "Jimmy, come on. It's not hurting me." Third time. Whack! Fires me into the popcorn machine so hard I think I'm gonna die. My brain, bits of it coming out of my ears. And just as he throws me in and the pain hits me, all of a sudden I hear him go, "Ah!" And he had pulled his finger, it hooked on my coat, he pulled it clean out of its socket. And I said, "God got you, babe."
Somebody said that Jimmy has woman problems in the movie?
Yeah, well, in the movie he can't get it together with this girl that he's got a crush on, and Nick Lang, my character Nick Lang. I mean, he knows women, and women are his life, his second favorite thing, and so there's a scene in the movie where he kind of explains, he tries to do this thing to explain to him how to handle this woman, and he takes it from an actor's point of view, and he kind of says, "I can help you out," and Jimmy's kind of hesitant to let him help him out. You gonna show the scene?
Yeah, I got it.
Because it's a weird scene. I mean, it's a weird scene. It's you got to get it, because I had just destroyed his date. He had a date with this girl, and I destroyed it. And I didn't mean to. I mean, it's just my guy. He just destroyed it. So I meet him at this bar, and I'm trying to explain to him, I say I was sorry, and he keeps telling me about this girl, and I said, "I can help you. Do you want to show it?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Show it, Sandy.
I don't know where this starts. Now, I'm Susan, you're John. Well?
Well, what?
Talk to me, John. Tell me what I want to hear.
Get away from me. This guy.
See, you never talk to me. You always keep me at a distance. You treat me like I'm some sort of princess that you can't even touch. Well, maybe I want to be touched, John.
Hey.
Maybe I want to be manhandled. But you just won't let me in.
Right. Just a little. Ridiculous. This is...
I thought you were quitting for me.
This is too damn strange, all right?
No, I'll tell you what's strange. That somebody so strong and so in charge isn't really confident in who he is.
That's bull.
Don't you take that. Tell him with me.
Somebody on my staff, I won't mention any names, Bill Royce, told me to mention the word pioneer or pioneer chicken.
Yeah.
And you would have an interesting response.
A long time ago, before I got Family Ties, I was broke, Everybody thinks I just tell stories about that, but I had nothing, and I had no phone. I was doing that thing with my friends where, when my rent was due, I'd go to their house, and when their rent was due, they'd come to my house, and we had no money, and I basically needed to get Family Ties. If I didn't get Family Ties, then I had to go back to Canada because I had to get out. And when people would say I was negotiating a deal for Family Ties, just in case I got it, and they said, "Well, where do we call you to negotiate the contract?" And I gave them a number, and they didn't know that number was a phone booth at Pioneer Chicken. And I would say, what time are you going to call? Because I'm going to be busy all day. And they said, well, we'll call around 4. So at 3:55, I'd be at the Pioneer Chicken, waiting for the phone to ring. And I negotiated my contract for Family Ties from a phone booth at the Pioneer Chicken, wishing I had like $1.99 to go into the Pioneer Chicken and get a snack pack,
Which Pioneer Chicken?
It was at San Vicente and Barrington. I don't know if it's still there.
Yeah.
I think it is still there, but I think the phone booth is gone. I hope it's in a Hall of Fame somewhere. So, the Pioneer Chicken Hall of Fame.
Yeah, your old office. Okay, they checked. This movie opens a week from tonight, so
Right. And
you were right.
I never do this. This is a funny movie. I mean, I wish I had a lot to do with it, but it on its own.
Because you do
merits
tell the
is
truth about movies. I asked you once about, and you said, you just did this. You
Yeah.
said,
He said,
and it was your movie.
One of my movies, I don't know, it was Bright Lights or something. He said, Bright Lights, Big City. I said, Arsenio, just go shopping, do something. But this is, this is big time funny. This is really funny.
We'll check it out next Friday night. We'll be back with Elisa Fiorillo. This is Michael J. Fox.